What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess, and you are watching a week 179 update of my keto story, my keto journey, my journey to rewind my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight with a ketogenic lifestyle. Quick disclaimer about this particular video. I am not a medical professional. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm just speaking on my own experience, in my own experience with a weight loss journey. You do you. Talk to your own doctor. And with that said, let's hop into today's video. This week is one of those weeks that you don't get, I haven't experienced a lot of aha moments in my weight loss journey. When I started my weight loss journey back in February 11th of 2019, it was a while before I even had my first aha moment. I was very just focused on restriction, very focused on, that goal. I was just very focused in other areas, and all the noise I tuned out. And then, fast forward, I get within a pound of my goal weight. I'm at that point where now what? I didn't really have the plan or figured out once I got all the weight lost, what to do next. And so then I started thinking I knew what I was doing, and then slowly but surely the weight keeps coming back on. And here we are, 3.5 years into the journey, 40 pounds have found their way back that I'd lost. Frustrating, yes. The end of the world, no. But when I started the journey, I was just I was in a different place. Had different goals. It was only about the weight. As I unpacked the layers of the onion of a weight loss journey, I now realize that the mental or the emotional side is probably where the focus should have been at from the beginning, because there's no point in doing all this crazy stuff to lose the weight if you don't know how to use your head to keep it off once you get there. It's like treating the symptoms, not the cause of the problem. So you can treat the symptoms all day, but if you don't treat that cause, the symptoms keep appearing, right? So I've been playing whack-a-mole, for lack of better words, for the past year and a half, approaching 2 years. And I'm tired of playing that game. So over the past couple of months, I said, all right, enough with the scale, put the scale down, focus on what's really important right now. The major reason behind the yo-yoing, the extremes, and focus on what's going on. And I'm calling that right now the messy middle, because I'm not done with my journey. I'm not just starting a journey. I'm in that messy middle, and I am determined to figure this stuff out. So it's going on that little tangent when I had one of those aha moments this week, and you don't get a lot of aha moments in a journey because it takes a lot of hard work to figure things out. If the weight loss journey was so easy, nobody would be fat, nobody would be obese, nobody would have any issues. They just stop eating because you ate too much and it fixes everything. Well, it doesn't work that way. So when you get an aha moment, appreciate them. And it was one of those game-changing moments this week. And before we get into that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Element Electrolytes. Element Electrolytes have been my go-to for quite some time now. I especially like the fact that they are a science-backed ratio of electrolytes, which consists of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, all of the delicious taste, sugar-free, keto, gluten-free, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, no fillers. They are my go-to electrolyte, especially when I'm taking my walks. I just put a package in here, sip on this throughout my workout, and if I happen to skip a workout, I will still sip on these throughout the day, which keeps my energy going, helps me sleep at night, that kind of thing. So if you want to test out some Element Electrolytes, I have a free sample pack for you. You can only get this promo with me, but you can get this free sample pack of 8 unique flavors. This way you can try all of them for free with any purchase. So use my special link, that is element.com/keto rewind. That's DRINKLMNT.com/keto rewind. And the good news is you can use this promo to get the free sample pack as many times as you want. So thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the rest of the show. So I have all the pieces of what I'm doing because like I said, I have been putting a lot of work into this. So I have this piece, I have this piece, I have this piece, I have this piece, I have this piece. But at the time, they're all fitting together like this. They're not fitting together, you know, the way they're supposed to. I don't understand the connection, for lack of better words. You know, I know I can't eat a standard American diet full time. You know, I know that. I know that on the other side, or the flip side of things, living a very extreme, very restricted lifestyle is also not the answer. You know, and then I know that, you know, I have to move my body to work on that mental release every day. I know, you know, like, for lack of going on forever, I know all the pieces of the weight loss journey. But how they all intertwine is where the hard work gets in. And this is my answer that I discovered, or my secret that I discovered that works for me. This may completely not work for you because a weight loss journey is a personal journey and it's not a one-size-all approach, right? So so last summer, one of my daughters has a summer birthday. And I made a birthday cake, and I don't even think I made a keto cake last year. It was just a regular birthday cake. And I had it over here in the fridge, and my sister came over, and she's like, oh, I need a bite of birthday cake. So she takes a fork, and she bites that piece of cake, and she's like, so good, and then wrapped it up and put it away. And I'm like, how did you just have one bite, and that was enough? Like, how? Like, I'm sitting there like my mind's blown. Because for me, I could have finished that cake, and you know, and like been done with it, made quick work of it. But my sister, who's never had a weight problem, you know, she's just like, what do you mean? I just needed a bite and I'm fine. And I'm just sitting there just so confused. So it's like a piece of this puzzle, right? So then, you know, you fast forward a whole year more of working on myself. And, you know, we go for a walk this past week, and my sister's like, hey, you remember that time that I came over last summer and, you know, I just took a bite of cake and it just blew your mind that I just needed a bite? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, it does, like, it's like, I'm so confused by it still, and it's been a year. How did one bite be enough for you? How to satisfy you, to be able to stop? And she's like, well, you know, in long story short, I know it's not my last bite of cake. I'm like, whoa. All of a sudden, the 15 layers of this puzzle, all of a sudden all connected in like one moment. And I'm like, oh my God, like I gotta take a seat here because this is huge. This is like an aha moment. For instance, to make this example kind of work together, let's still talk about cake. And I'm talking a regular cake, a delicious standard American diet buttercream cake. One of them, not a keto cake. So I was saying goodbye to that cake forever, thinking I had the restriction, the enough mental strength, the self-discipline, the perfect life to say goodbye to that cake and never say bye again. Well, life would happen, and I'm at, you know, another birthday party happened, and, you know, all of a sudden I'm in a situation where I can't have a keto cake. They're having regular cake, and, you know, I'll have a slice, and that whole slice turns into, now I want sugar, and, you know, like the extremes, the triggers, and it's like, because when I have that bite of cake, it's the last time for me. I have to get it in while I can, you know, like right now it's okay because tomorrow I'm going to be perfect again. So it was this and we're going to apply this to not just cake. I'm talking about all the times that I've been triggered, all the times where I've wanted my foods and, you know, had my cheat meals, you know, all those things, that's what I'm talking about here. Because when I had those days, I'd go balls to the wall because I can have them today because I can't tomorrow. So I was saying bye to those french fries, saying bye to that cake because I can never have it again. So while the floodgates are open, I have to get in as much as I can. It's an emotional roller coaster to live that way. That's why diets fail. We're on the diet today, we mess up, and now we're off the diet, or we say, the hell with it, I can't do this. All of those, the mental dialogue in your head that makes you quit, right? Because that's what happens. Everybody's like, I have to, if I'm on this diet or this lifestyle and I go one step outside of it, I've just ruined everything by having a cheat. So, long story short, when I would be out to dinner, because I never make French fries at my house. I never have Oreos. I never have the foods that I can't control myself around in my house. So I have to go out to a restaurant to have these foods, or, you know what I mean? So, but changing it to like a French fry example, tying into last week. When I had those French fries, the reason why I was able to let it go and be okay with throwing my food away and not finishing an entire plate of French fries is because I was in my head saying, Jess, this is not the last time you're gonna have French fries. These French fries suck because they're mushy and they're not fresh and crispy the way I like them. Why are you eating them just because they're there? Throw them away. There'll be French fries again at some point. It isn't goodbye. So this dialogue that I've been working through my head with is I am transitioning what I say in my head to French fries is never again. No, that's completely crazy to say I'm never going to have a French fry again. Perhaps other folks have a different approach and it works for them and I give them a gold star, but that is not me. My life does involve some French fries. And it's why when I'm living those pendulum of extremes to super restricted to, oh my gosh, the floodgates are open and get it all in, that life of the pendulum of restriction has made me crazy. So I'm saying goodbye to the extremes. And I'm saying goodbye to anybody who can't handle the fact that in some point in my life, I'm gonna have another French fry and I'm not gonna be feeling guilty about it. And then I'm talking about that same thing with every food that I consider off limits. All those foods that are just literally off limits in my life. Jess lives a healthy lifestyle. Jess wants to feel her best, look her best, work through this journey, get to the goal weight, and live happily ever after. But that Jess isn't going to live in the extremes anymore. The extremes don't work. So when I am, say for instance, it's time, in my house, I cook keto, low carb. It is what it is. I like to eat that way. I choose to live that way. Trying to fit into ketosis is a little too restrictive. I'm just not stressing about hitting the number 20. What the heck? So if I eat 30 net carbs in a day, so be it. I feel great that way. That's what works for me. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. And I have to accept it's okay to not be in ketosis 24/7. It's one of those things where you eat what is sustainable and what feels good. So at home, I don't cook French fries because I know that's not something I should be eating because I don't feel my best. It doesn't get me to my goals. So when I go out to dinner or to a restaurant, I eat out, that's when I order those things because it's a treat. And plus, I don't have a fryer in my house. It's too much mess when the things fry, and I would much rather somebody else fry my food than at home. So that keeps that whole moderation in check. But the thing is, I was doing that before, but I would feel so guilty going and having a French fry because, oh my God, I broke all the rules, and while I'm screwed up, I might as well get all the rest of it in too, and it would just be this constant vicious cycle. So now, those days are over. However, when I'm having my food now, I need to trust or to tell myself, Jess, this isn't the last time you're having this. Clearly, if you ate French fries every single day, that wouldn't be smart. But I'm saying making this example simple, if I wanted to have French fries tomorrow, I could. And it goes for keto and low carb foods too, because sometimes if you ate a fat bomb or a piece of cheesecake, it may be keto, it may be low carb, but there's still calories involved. It still tastes delicious and it's not free. So this is a universal thought process when I'm eating anything that tastes really good, because I don't have the trouble. I don't overeat steak. I don't overeat chicken. I don't, like, I'm talking about like the extras, the things that taste really good that you just want to keep eating. This new thought process is what I'm doing to manage it. And that is, Jess, this is not the end. This is not goodbye to those French fries. This is not goodbye to the cheesecake. This is not goodbye. Take what you want, enjoy it. You don't have to clean your plate. Have a little bit and just be okay with tossing it out. Be okay with just covering it with some plastic wrap, putting it back in the fridge. Be okay with closing up the bag and putting it back in the pantry. This new thought process is freedom to enjoy what I want to have, but realize that it's not goodbye. It's not goodbye. It's not. And that thought process is going to take so long to rewrite in my head, because it's always been goodbye when I've eaten a piece of cheesecake or French fries, because I can't have that. We're going to go back to, we got to be perfect tomorrow. We got to go back to full-on restriction. And, so it's not going to be something that I can just fix. This is going to be something that I have to work on every time I eat. And each time it will take less time to talk to myself through it, right? But it makes so much sense. It's not goodbye. Take your little bite. You don't have to have 400 servings. A single bite will do. It's not goodbye. So I really think it was a game changer this week. This video probably makes no sense to you, and I'm sorry, but it made so much sense to me in the moment, because I've been saying goodbye every time I cheat, which I'm going to change to indulge or have an extra or treat myself. Every time I do that, the emotional turmoil that comes after that one time is maddening, and I can't live like that anymore. So the only way to rewrite that narrative is to know that, yes, French fries are not something that should be a staple in my diet, but I'm not saying goodbye. I will have a French fry when I want, as often as I want, but they're just not something I have every day. So I don't have to say goodbye. I don't have to get it all in because I'm never having them again. Because we all know that's a lie. I can't say that. I can't say goodbye to a French fry because they're so freaking good. And there'll be times in my life where I'm going to have a French fry. But the thing is, how you don't eat French fries every single day or to wreck your progress from a weight loss journey is having trust with yourself that these French fries will not get me to my goal weight. However, the French fry is not responsible for my destructive behavior. The French fry is just the French fry, and I'm giving it too much power. So in order to find a way to take that power away from the French fry that throws me off the cliff is to be like, okay, well, I can still have that French fry and just not gonna have it every freaking day. So I'm sure this video might sound absolutely crazy. And like I said, if there was a one-size-fits-all approach to weight loss, we would all be thin and it would all make sense. But this particular moment that I had, the aha of it's not goodbye, is going to be a game changer for me. And I'm only sharing this part of my crazy with you because there might be someone that can take this moment and apply it to your own journey. Because by me talking to my food or in my head talking to my food and changing the narrative that I have should help me stop with the extremes, the guilt, that pendulum that has just plagued my life, because I'm either super restricted or not restricted at all. And that is just maddening. So it's not something that's going to just change overnight. It's going to take a while to do this every time. But when I eat and I'm looking at my food and I'm, taking that mental note with myself, it's going to take a lot of practice. And eventually, maybe I will be like my sister who can come in and take one bite of cake and be good with it. and be able to leave the rest of the cake, not to even think about that cake anymore that day, because that was me. That's been my life. I've always been like, oh, I can't have cake. I can't control myself around the cake. Cake triggers me, and that was just making things worse, and it's like, yes, the cake sucks. The cake, nutrition-wise, 2 thumbs down. But the cake isn't the problem. The way I'm talking, the way I'm conducting my behavior has been the problem. It's I'm never gonna have cake again, so I have to finish every little bite now. And that just turned into like the mountain that I'm having to climb right now. And it's no way to live. So in order to take that power away from the cake and to start living again and not to live in the extremes is, yeah, I'm gonna live keto and low carb 99% of the time. But if I go out and I want some French fries, or if I go to somebody else's house and they have cake because it's a birthday party, because who knows how many freaking birthday parties you have to go to as a parent of 2 girls, but I'm going to take the bite of cake, and if the cake sucks, I'm not going to finish the cake. I'm going to throw the cake away and be fine with that. If the cake is delicious, I'm going to have a couple of bites, get my fill, but I know that it's not the last time I'm going to have delicious cake. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I'm using those examples. I'm not saying that my life now involves cake only and only French fries. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just using those examples as a way to make what I'm saying make sense. So give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying here. And to drive the note home is, it's not goodbye. And I have to change the narrative in my head to know that I can have cake anytime I want to have cake. It's not against the law to have cake. It doesn't matter what you think about me having cake. It's not worth wasting calories on bad cake, so there's no reason to finish it all just because you can have it that day. It does not mean that cake every day is the answer. But what it does mean, if I want to have a bite of cake at some point, it's okay. It's not goodbye. It doesn't ruin all what I've done in my journey. My journey speaks for itself. I lost 130 pounds, living this way, but I didn't fix my head, and I have to fix my head to make this work. So long story short, that's why when my sister came over and had a bite of cake, and it was cake that was all she needed, and she went on her merry way, that's why for her, she could do it. And that's why I'm sitting there, the pendulum of extremes over here, extreme restriction and not restriction. I'm over here like, oh my God, how did you just do that, But I wanted to know what goes on in her head to make that okay. And that was when it was like, oh, so it's not the last time she's ever going to have cake. No wonder she can just have one bite and move along, No wonder just having half a sandwich is all she wanted, because that she felt that was good, good to go. So it's like these habits have to be something that I learned for myself, because I know how to lose weight. I know how to move my body. I know mental health is so important in a weight loss journey. I know so much about this, but I didn't understand how it all went together until I had that moment. So now it makes sense. And now the homework for me is to practice this at each and every meal, because it's not going to be something you flip your little fingers and it's just, okay, well, that's how I am now. No. Because I'm still going to have that tendency to want to eat all of the cake. I'm still going to have that tendency to have all the French fries. I'm still going to have those years of that behavior that I have to undo and rewrite. But it's possible. It's something that I'm looking forward to. It's a whole new approach to my journey that I've not even thought about before. And it's going to be on a wild ride. So this next couple of weeks of videos is going to be a lot about this topic. And because it's not something I can just summarize in one video. Like, it's so hard to even make the whole aha moment make sense to you guys, because obviously this is my life, not yours. So it makes sense to me because that's what I'm living, you know what I mean? But there's going to be probably some people that completely understand where I'm coming from here. So, and that's why I'm sharing it. And that's why I'm going to do my best to start growing on this topic on my channel, because it is a game changer. And I'm so excited. So anyways, that's pretty much all I have for you today. We're going to go shopping and do some retail therapy. and get some back to school clothes for my girls, and that's it. So I will see you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. And if you can relate or you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications if you want to see more videos like this. I am Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind. Bye-bye.